Hi friends, good morning and welcome to the first day of your brand new distance learning packet. I'm here to go over our first reading article together. I'm so sad we can't be in school together, but I'm so happy that you are all safe and healthy learning at home. I want you to open your packet and look for the page that looks like this. Once you're open to this page, we can start. Okay, ready? A dangerous landslide. One night in March 2014, mud broke loose from a tall hillside near the town of Oso, Washington. The giant mass of wet soil moved downhill quickly. It eventually covered 30 nearby houses with mud and dirt. Many people were hurt. Landslide is the word many people use to describe this kind of emergency. This landslide happened when very heavy rains soaked the ground near Oso. At the beginning of any muddy landslide, wet ground breaks loose. As the mud moves, it may rip bushes, boulders, trees, and other things out of the ground. Landslides can cause serious damage. A big landslide could bury homes and badly injure people in its path. Landslides can also dump huge amounts of wet dirt onto roads and highways. This added enormous weight could wreck cars and might even cause the road to collapse. That means the road would fall apart. Next paragraph. If a landslide happens near an area that includes buildings, it could break water lines, gas lines, or electrical lines. That kind of damage could also start fires. Okay, last paragraph. Scientists are trying to figure out how to help people be safe in areas where landslides occur. The best thing experts say is to have a plan for what to do if this kind of moving earth emergency happens. Okay, great job. Thanks for reading with me. Now I want you to flip to the next page of your packet to look at the comprehension questions. That page looks like this. Oop. So I already gave away one of the answers, but we will go through all of the questions and read the answers together. Look at number 1. The article describes an example of a real-life landslide. Where did this landslide happen? A. Washington, D.C. B. Seattle, Washington, or C. Oso, Washington. I'm going to go back to my packet and look. I remember that it told us where this happened in the first paragraph. So I'm going to reread the first paragraph. One night in March 2014, mud broke loose from a tall hillside near the town of Oso, Washington. So I already know that the passage tells us this happened in Oso, Washington. So I will circle answer C, Oso, Washington. Okay, now let's move on to number 2. This article describes some damage that can be caused by landslides. What is one possible effect of a landslide? So what is something that could happen because of a landslide? A, The mud on a hillside could dry up. B. Heavy rains could soak the ground. C. A road or highway could collapse. So go back to your passage and look in the article to see which answer would be best to tell us one possible effect of a landslide. Okay, number 3. In Oso, a large amount of wet soil and mud broke loose from a tall hill and covered 30 nearby houses. This landslide happened when very heavy rains soaked the ground near Oso. What can you conclude based on this evidence? So think about what we can conclude based on what this sentence is telling us. A. Heavy rains may have been a cause of the landslide in Oso. B. The houses in Oso covered by the landslide had already been flooded from the rains. Or C. Landslides only ever happen after heavy rains. So go and reread this sentence and think about which answer would be best. Number 4. What kind of town would most likely be in danger of landslides? A. A town at the bottom of a muddy hill. B. A town surrounded by flat, muddy land. Or C. A town at the top of a hill. Number 5. What is the main idea of this article? So what is this article mostly about? A. Landslides are a dangerous kind of emergency that can cause a lot of damage. B. Landslides can break water lines, gas lines, or electrical lines. Or C. A landslide in Oso, Washington covered 30 nearby houses and hurt many people. So now think in your head, what was this passage mostly about? Overall, mostly about. And choose the best answer. Okay, number 6. Read this passage from the article. One night in March 2014, mud broke loose from a tall hillside near the town of Oso, Washington. The giant mass of wet soil moved downhill quickly. It eventually covered 30 nearby houses with mud and dirt. Many people were hurt. Why does the author begin the article with this paragraph? A. To show readers why landslides can be more dangerous than other kinds of emergencies. B. To give readers a real-life example of a landslide and the damage it caused. Or C is on the next page, so go to the next page of your packet. C. To tell readers not to move to Oso because of the dangers of the landslides there. So think about that paragraph, and why do you think the article begins with that paragraph? Number 7. Choose the best answer that completes this sentence. Experts say it's important for people to have a plan blank they can stay safe if a landslide happens. A. So. B. Because. Or C. But. So think about which word fits best in the blank space of this sentence. Okay, now for numbers 8 and 9, you are going to have to do some writing. So get your pencils or pens, and I will read these and help with our writing. Number 8, what moves downhill quickly during a landslide? So, let's go back to our passage and think about, what is a landslide? What moves downhill quickly during a landslide? I know that this passage told us all about how wet soil and mud and dirt moves downhill quickly during a landslide. So I will think about a sentence I can write to answer this question. Okay, number 9. What are 3 examples from the text of how a landslide can cause serious damage? Okay, so this text gave us many examples of how landslides can cause serious damage. So we can do one example together. And the rest, I want you to do the last 2 by yourself. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my passage. I'm going to think to myself, what are ways that landslides can cause damage? Ooh, I see. Landslides could wreck cars. So I'm going to use that as my first example. Landslides can cause damage by wrecking cars. So I will write landslides can wreck cars. Now I want you to look back in your text and think of 2 more examples from the text of how a landslide can cause serious damage. Okay, friends, thank you so much for reading with me today. Bye.